I'm here to talk to you about using the example of our indie game project called Colorful Darkness, how we, during the development, realized that the game had potential for having a social impact. The game can actually teach you about cyber risk in an efficient way. And we didn't come up with that from the beginning, but I will explain at the end, and this is my conclusion, how we came up with that interesting effect. So, first, l'air du temps in French, or I think in German it's Zeitgeist. I don't speak German. Back in the 60s, 70s, it was the space race. We lived in a different times. It was the Cold War. Some people say it's still the Cold War, but nowadays. But the point is, the movies, literature, etc., were all about, getting to space. Who was the most superpower? We were just after World War II in terms of evolution of humanity, and so you probably know this novel, right? And you've recognized the very famous Stanley Kubrick movie. Haha. We live in a different time now. We live in a world of big corporations, political collusion, and nowadays, more and more, hackers have an impact on our lives. So this is what movies are now a lot about, and what people are interested in. But there's a problem. This is how hacking a computer is depicted often in Hollywood movies and in video games. Can also look like this. Looks good. Can also look like this. Who among you know how to use a crypto smasher? You suck. Actually, it looks more like that. It's also very nerdy, and it's the color scheme, I guess, check out. But the point is, it's much less cinematographic. There's another problem that you see in many video games about hackers, or where you get to play a hacker, and it's that you seem to hack things automatically with your phone, and you carry a gun for some reason. Hackers look more like this. But these are like cosmetic problems. It's just about a representation and giving the wrong idea in the mind of people. Actually, for me, a deeper problem is about how hacking is depicted. And by the way, hacking is now a verb, whatever that means. Hacking can mean many things. It can mean disrupt a system from its original intention or use. It means open something that's not supposed to be open. Jailbreaking your iPhone is considered as hacking. It can mean retrieve some information that you're not supposed to retrieve. Hacking means many things. But it's always related to deviance, in a way, and defiance. But whatever. The way hacking is depicted in games is often like this. You are... PowerPoint bug, sorry. So you're in a point A and you're trying to get to a point B. And there's a door. But the problem is, you, the player, don't know how to actually perform hacking when your character, because of the story, knows how to do it. So you often end up in game design with situations like this, which is, I'm a programmer, and this is where I don't feel challenged enough. Then there's my favorite. That's really, I just love this one. Um, yeah. So yeah, okay, sure, it's just a game. Why not? But I don't feel challenged enough. Then some people tried something else, but uh, who put such a security system on a real life door? You know, this doesn't make much sense. But I think this is a problem because very few people have a clear idea of how it's done in real life. And consequences are real nowadays. You all have received such emails, right? Supposedly from your bank. But, okay, that's an easy one, maybe for you. But what about this one? That's a typical use case scenario in cybersecurity, real-life cybersecurity, where the mail was actually sent from the mailbox of the company CEO. That's one of the, I think, top 3 use cases in social engineering, which is the human part of hacking. So yeah, real-life consequences, because people have no idea how easy it is to actually spoof someone's email. And just based on that, they won't make a call to check with the boss, or... So we have this game that we're currently working on. It's in development. If you subscribe to our newsletter, you can download a little proof of concept prototype. But the game release date, the final game, is not set yet. We don't have a release date. We hope next year. We'll see. And in the game, you play a computer hacker. So the technical part of the hacking is realistic. You open in-game terminals. How many among you are programmers or know how to use a computer terminal? Just to get an idea. Okay. So is it scary for the others? So the thing is, that's one part of the gameplay. But in the game, you actually explore a vast world. And relating to the previous puzzle situation with the door, for instance, we won't even tell you where's the door. Which door you should hack. We try to give you the mindset of a hacker, and for instance, by not putting you on a linear path and obliging you to find your way and understand where you need to go. This is better explained by this, where there's supposed to be a Z here, and where you actually want to go from A to Z, and instead of just having an obstacle, you will need in our game to retro-plan your course of action. So how do I get to the information? Oh, maybe it's stored in the company's servers, or maybe it's also in the company's CEO's email. But how do I get to one of those? Oh, I know. Maybe I get to the secretary of the CEO, because she must also have a copy of his email, and she probably live in a less secure neighborhood. So maybe there's an easy access to her computer or phone, and so on and so on. And because we're a narrative game, we also can implement out of the box with our game engine the human aspect of hacking, so social engineering. So maybe on this path, part of your plan will be something very technical, but here it will be extracting information by, manipulating someone. And there's still a problem in terms of game design, and because we're perfectionists, we're often told that our game might be difficult, and yeah, it is. It is difficult. So what we decided to do is, because there's this gap still between what the character is supposed to know and what the player actually knows, we have decided to justify our game design by taking you on a journey. So you start the game as our hero when she's a child, and she learns everything from scratch, just like the player. We get the question a lot, so isn't this too hardcore, etc. So that's our answer. And we like that because it allows us also to get people emotionally attached to the character, and ultimately it will allow us to write stories where you understand better the motivations of actual hackers. It's not just money or fame, there are many, many different motivations. How we came up with this? Actually, it was never our intention in the beginning to teach people about cybersecurity. This project was born in a game jam years ago, and the original intention was, we were two programmers. We wanted to make a game where it would be cyberpunk because we like it. It would be a point and click because we like it, and we want to play as a hacker, but it has to be difficult, not like all these puzzles, So that was our initial intention. Then later, when we found an artist for the project, and we decided to take this project from a baby game jam thing to an actual commercial project, we decided, okay, let's go with an artistic direction where it's a cinematic adventure and the story is emotionally engaging and so on and so on. And still, at this point, we weren't even thinking of teaching people cybersecurity. It was just a game. It is still just a game. Then we started to test the game with people who actually knew about cybersecurity, cybersecurity specialists. We even went to the DEF CON. Who knows the DEF CON here? The same people who know how to use a terminal. DEF CON is probably the biggest hacking conference, if you want, in the world, and it's held in Las Vegas every year. And it's really impressive. Like you cannot pay with a credit card because everybody who comes there don't want to be traced, and you actually walk among potentially real hackers. You absolutely walk among real hackers. It's a fact, and it's not allowed to take pictures inside. And when we went, they were revealing how to hack the the Apple Watch. They just found a way to break in, and I think it was 1 week after the release of the Apple Watch. So yeah. We test the game with cybersecurity specialists, and by doing so, we realized, oh, this is great because it gives us a lot of credibility, and it can even make us learn new scenarios for the game, etc. So it's all really good. And this is when we talked with them that we realized, hey, there's actually potential for educational, software here. We had also at some point to decide, do we want to lower the difficulty? Because our main objective is still to release a game, not an educational software. So we were like, should we make it more easy, etc. And the answer is no. We won't make it more easy. We have clearly identified that this is the DNA of the game, if you want. So after all these steps in our project, we realized, and we're still talking with cybersecurity companies, we realized that, yeah, the game has potential to teach people about cyber risk in real life. And there are no stupid questions, but I just love this cartoon. But we get a question a lot, and it's, so if I play your game, will I be able to become a hacker? And the answer is no, and it doesn't matter. So no, because what we teach you is not how to copy-paste, are the methods in the game in real life, you would need to relearn in real life the specific commands and etc. What we do is, it's still a game. So we simulate as close as possible the mindset you must have to perform hacking in real life. And it doesn't matter because some people are worried that this game might create a new wave of hackers. It doesn't matter, I think, because someone who intends to do harm, someone who wants to become a hacker, let's put it this way, will always find a way to learn. Those people will learn anyway. I think it's much more important to get a broader audience of non-potential hackers to understand how hackers operate, how they think, what are their motivations, etc. This is, to me, much more relevant as an outcome of our game. Yeah, the conclusion is keep your grandmothers safe or yourself. Keep your bathroom selfies safe, and yeah, learn about cyber risk. Thank you.